Like today, representatives to the U.S. Congress were elected by eligible voters in each district, drawn by state legislatures after each census. When we hear about redistricting today, though, it is usually in conjunction with gerrymandering. This is a concept that would have been familiar to 1830s Hoosiers. The first big case of gerrymandering, and where it got its name from, happened in Massachusetts in 1812. The Democratic-Republican Party held the Massachusetts legislature when they wished to keep control of it from the Federalists. As they redrew the Senate districts, they ignored their tradition of following existing county boundaries and split the districts to favor their party. Federalists denounced the new Senate map as carvings and manglings, and since Elbridge Gerry signed the redistricting bill, those districts became known as a gerrymander for its resemblance of a salamander. The map had its intended effect, and the Democratic Republicans won a larger majority in 1812 despite losing the popular vote. Indiana did not have a problem with gerrymandering, mainly because it didn't have many congressional districts to draw. The number of congressional districts is determined by how many seats in the House of Representatives each state gets, which is called apportionment. From 1816 to 1823, Indiana only had one congressional seat, and between 1824 and 1833, the number increased to 3. Now, there was some drama after the 1830 census showed that Indiana was entitled to 7 congressmen. So in the 1832-1833 session, the General Assembly had to figure out where to draw the districts, and they had a hard time doing so. State Representative William Wallace wrote the General Assembly, quote, found it a very difficult matter to lay them off so as to give general satisfaction, but became as near as the nature of the case would admit of. Cass County wasn't happy because they were lumped into the 6th district despite its separation from the rest of the district by the Miami Reserve. They were the only county in the state that was not connected to the other counties in their district. From 1824 to 1833, Hamilton County was included in the 2nd Congressional District, and from 1833 to 1843, it was in the 6th District. The way that apportionment has worked has changed throughout American history. Congress determined the number of citizens per representative, and so the number of total House members would change every year. In 1800, there was one representative for every 33,000 citizens for a total of 142 House members. In 1810, that number increased to 181 House members, in 1820 to 213, and in 1830, the apportionment was one representative for every 47,700 citizens, or 240 House members. Today, the number of seats in the House is set at 435 and has been so since 1911.